أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلائق أجمعين، حبيبنا وسيدنا المصطفى الأمين بالقاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الغر الميامين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين، مهدي هذه الأمة وخاتم الأئمة وطاووس أهل الجنة، الحجة بن الحسن العسكري، روحي وأرواح العالمين الإكرام مقدم الفداء. قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها، لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا، ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا، ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا إن أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Life as we know it comes with different tests and different trials, and no one can go through this life without being tested. And these tests come in different forms: health, wealth, children, and death itself. But can we ask and say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I don't want to go through any of those trials, right? I don't want to, as someone said, was saying, and it's in Nahj al-Balagha, that Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-fitan. Oh Allah, I seek refuge to you from fitna, which is tests. Amir Mu'min said, no, say Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min mudhillat al-fitan. A fitna that misguides me. So, what to ask of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? These challenges are going to happen, whether I want it or not, right? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes children as fitna, your wealth as fitna. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that كل نفس ذائقة الموت وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِالْخَيْرِ وَالشَّرِّ فِتْنَةً. That everyone will taste بالشر كل نفس ذائقة الموت ولنبلوكم بالشر والخير فتنة وإلينا ترجعون. That you will be tested with good and bad, with good of this life and the bad of this life. So, what is the solution here? Is the solution to say that, like Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, when Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam visited him, sallallahu alayhi wa Muhammad,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
that he said, I'm in a status now that I like being fragile and old rather than being young. And I am liking sickness more than I like health. And I like death over life. Imam al-Baqir sallallahu alayhi wa corrected him. Jabir reached a certainty that, this life is not worth living, and with this kind of dua, I will get more reward. Some people have like a larger kind of capacity to withstand masa'ib, to withstand trials, to withstand tests. Other people, no, they don't have that capacity. So Jabir apparently was one of those. Imam al-Baqir salamullah alayhi says, but Jabir, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me old, I would like being old. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me sick, I would like being sick. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me healthy, I would like to be healthy. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take my life, I would like death. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept me, I would like life. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us what to say. Some people said, right, the verse that I mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not burden you with more than you can stand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is your strength and knows you. So you say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is a verse, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not burden a soul beyond its capacity. وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا أصرا كما حملت على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. Oh Allah, don't overburden us with something that we cannot withstand. Like I remember a relative of mine, he used to say that, oh Allah, don't test me with my kids. I cannot take it. Right? Some people, they have this capacity. Say, yes, I can't withstand it. Some people actually, we had a hadith in this regard, that someone, when he heard if the thawab and the rewards that he will get if he loses a son, he start doing dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him a son, a good son, and he grows to be better and mu'min, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take him from him, to get the reward of that. Well, I can't, to be honest, even think of that kind of dua. But some people have that. So for those who cannot withstand it, they ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, رَبَّنَا وَلَا تُحَمِّلْنَا مَا لَا طَاقَةَ لَنَا بِهِ. That's, don't overburden us with something that we cannot take. And that is, of course, is a legitimate dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will go through all of these tests. I will go through all trials. But oh Allah, increase my ability to withstand it and don't overburden me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us on the path of Muhammad and al-Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam alayhi wa ajma'in. Inna waliya wa tawfiq. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala tayyibin al-tahirin.